I think we can all agree that a lot of our problems and a lot of our pain and suffering in life comes from overthinking. And so in this video, I'm going to outline what's made me literally 10 times happier in the past year. So over the past year, I've taken it upon myself to become the happiest person I can possibly be. More so to make me more effective. I was really into just grind, motivation, mindset, and I realized that I could actually be more effective if I become a happy person, and then my work will feel like fun and I can make anything feel like fun. And so over the past year, I've taken it upon myself to try a wide variety of different things to make me be a happier person. And so today I'm going to talk about one topic called narrowing your focus. And there's 5 stages of this that you can go through. And once you get to the grandmaster level that I'll talk about here in a second, you can pretty much enjoy anything. Even if it's a terrible moment, your car crashes, girlfriend breaks up with you. After this video, you're going to understand how some people are simply just blissful. So let's get into it. Now, what does narrowing focus mean? Narrowing focus is how far into the future your brain wants to go. And so level 1, the beginner can refrain from thinking 1 week ahead in the future. So as a beginner in this journey of narrowing your focus, the beginner is someone who is constantly thinking super far into the future. And so the further into the future you're thinking, the more stressed you're going to be. And so the goal is really to narrow your focus closer to the present moment, because every time you're experiencing what you're currently doing, you're not going to be sad. You can't be sad if you're fully engulfed in the moment. And so think about the last time you went to a movie at the movie theater. You go into the movie theater, and for almost an hour to 2 hours, you almost accept that you're one of the characters in the movie. And then you get completely lost in it. And so for those 2 hours, you're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about the homework assignment you have to get done. You're not thinking about the work you have to do when you get home. No, for those 2 hours, you've let yourself go. You've let yourself be there completely and engulfed in the movie. And that's really the goal with the day-to-day life. So a beginner, level 1, you can't refrain from thinking 1 week ahead. You're thinking about the deadlines. You're thinking about, hey, what work am I going to have to do next week? Oh, I got to take my car in. All of these things. Level 2, intermediate, this is someone who thinks 2 to 4 days ahead in the future. And this is better. You're not worrying yourself about something a week away, but still, let me just go through the next 2 levels. Advanced, and this is where I was for a while, I was able to only think about things 1 day in the future. And so that would be, hey, if I got school tomorrow, I'm going to be thinking about it. If I've got work tomorrow, I'm probably going to be thinking about it, which is still not a great place to be because tomorrow is far enough away. You can enjoy that moment. So let me continue. Number 4, this is someone who I'd say is pretty skillful. I was here maybe a few months ago. This is the master. So the master can refrain and only think about the next 3 to 4 hours. And so maybe you wake up and you have work in the afternoon. If it's 7 a.m. and you have work at 5 p.m., the master is able to enjoy the day. But where we really want to get, and this is where I feel like I'm almost there, sometimes I'm there, but this is level 5, the grand master. And so the grand master is able to pretty much narrow their focus to 5 minutes. And so let me iterate what this looks like for me day to day. My morning is my sacred period of my day. And so in the morning, I allow myself to be there. And so I go to the gym with my parents, and it's very fun, sometimes a little hectic. But nonetheless, I come home and it is the most peaceful time of day. I make my eggs, I make my coffee, and my family and I were just sitting in the living room and enjoying the moment. And so when I'm sitting there, I don't use my phone because the phone is just the gateway to work. So again, if I looked at my phone, bam, I'd be a few hours in advance. But what I do is I leave my phone somewhere that I'm not tempted to grab it. And what we have classic clocks with hands and everything, the OG stuff. And for whatever reason, looking at that gives me a different perception of time. I don't know why, but if you want to still be able to tell the time, for some reason a digital clock just throws me off. It throws me out of the moment. I don't know why. I'm just so used to looking at a digital clock on my phone. And so having an actual classic clock that has the hands is really nice, actually. But when I'm sitting there and I know I have to be on a work call at 8 a.m. and it's 7 a.m. and I've got to go up there, shower, whatever, get on the call, I sit there and I let myself disconnect, but it's a skill. It's taken me going through each of these levels to get to that point. But now I'm able to look at the clock, and even though I have to get up in 5 minutes, I'm able to say, wow, for these 5 minutes, I'm going to let go. And alarms help. I have an alarm set for when I need to go upstairs, get ready for the call. But I let myself go for whatever time I have, even if it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm going to let whatever I'm doing consume me fully, because that's when I'm happiest. And there's a great saying, it's when you walk, when you stand, but never wobble. So what that means is whatever you're doing, you need to be doing it completely. There's a book called The Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman, and he says that, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he says that mediocrity is stupid. That's not what he says. I'm sorry. He says that moderation is mediocrity. And you're really only doing something wrong if you go at it half-heartedly. If you mess up, you want to mess up fully. Never do something with half of your soul. If you're going to go and get completely wasted, but you must know your consequences. You must know what's going to happen as a result. You must know the price of the thing that you're doing. That's what makes you a wise being. It's being able to see the price and the consequence for your actions and acting in accordance. So maybe the person, this wise being that we're hypothetically talking about, knows that, hey, if I go out and get wasted tonight, I'm going to feel horrible. And if you are able to accept those consequences and act with your entire soul, arguably you probably wouldn't do it again. You'd probably not just go out and get wasted every single night. But the point is, you want to do whatever you're doing with your full attention. And if you're constantly streaming your energy into the future or the past, you're never going to give yourself any chance to say, hey, this is a great moment right now. You need to start practicing removing your attention from the future or the past and letting yourself be right now. That's just what's made me so much happier. Now I'm able to enjoy 5 minutes. It's just a process of narrowing your focus, going from, hey, I'm thinking a week in advance to I'm thinking 5 minutes in advance. And you need to have systems to rely on. So I'm not just constantly, oh, it's 5 minutes. What do I need to do? No, I have a calendar that sends me reminders on my phone. And then I have alarms. And so when you have an alarm set, you have a system in place that is going to automatically remind you. And so it allows you permission to let go. That's one of the big things that's helped me. But you have to realize that your mind is like a muscle. And so you need to let your mind recover. And the way you do that is you stop streaming your focus into the past and the future and be right where you are in that moment, because that's only going to lead you to be a happier person. But it's something you have to practice. And just like a muscle, it's something you need to work at every single day. You're not going to snap your fingers and be able to narrow your focus to the next 5 minutes. On default, you're going to be a stress monkey. You're going to be jumping from thing to thing that you have to do. But what you realize is that's just no way to live. That's not fun at all for anybody. What's fun, there's a wide multitude of things that are fun. And whatever it is, it's going to require your attention in that moment. And so we crave things that gain our attention easily, whether it's something scary. That's why people like scary movies. They remove you from the past and the future and zap you into the present. That's why people like orgasms, just having sex, people like that, because it removes you from past and future. That's why people like going to the gym, because it removes you from the past and the future and brings you right here. People like all of that stuff just because it brings you here. But that's something that you do not need to use other things to achieve. That Nowness is available at all times, but it's a muscle just like anything else. And any of these other things that are external that can bring you that presence have a price tag. Alcohol has a major price tag. Drugs have a price tag. Meaningless sex has a price tag. All of it. There is no such thing as free lunch. The internal peace where you can always be happy, that's something that you got to work at. And that's why I said that there's levels to it. So becoming a grandmaster where you can enjoy 5 minutes or less without thinking about the future takes work. And all it is when you notice yourself drifting too far in the future, you bring yourself back. How do you bring yourself back? You let go. You give your internal permission. You say to yourself in your brain, I'm going to enjoy these next 10 minutes. I'm not going to think about it. And then you do whatever you're doing. If you're talk to the human, if you're reading a book, bring yourself back. I'm going to read this book for 10 minutes. If you're writing a paper, bring myself back. I'm going to write this paper for 10 minutes. Whatever you're doing, do it with your entire soul. That's all I got. Peace.